It's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you can see from the title, this is a haul. It's gonna be quite a big haul because, yeah, I did quite a lot of shopping in June. I suppose you might ask, well, isn't that just like a usual month for you? I mean, I'm a book lover. I don't shop this much each month. So I suppose kind of right now, just kind of sit down if you want. I'm gonna tell you something because I want to be honest, and why not? Yeah. So in June, I was let go from my job. So yeah. I mean, it's been a process. So like, I've had some communication with my boss. So it was a complete shock. But still, when it happened, it was like, okay, okay. So like up until then, I've kind of been going to like re going to like therapy, shopping, for books. So yeah, I have four big, no, not big, uh, bags. Well, yeah, slightly big bags, and I think it's around 20 books. So yeah, quite a lot. And yeah, let's just start with them. If I'm gonna do another video where I talk more about my job situation, well, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll talk about it somehow. But you know what? Right now, sorry, I think I'm just gonna show you my lovely books. Sorry. So first we have a red, white, and royal blue by Casey McQuiston. So you see this is a special edition. So it's a hardcover. So it has this very nice flat back. It also has illustrations on the cover itself, and there's illustrations inside. So yeah, I'm very excited with this. This book is one of mine and a lot of other people's favorite book. I read it for the first time in I want to say 2020, maybe I did, but yeah, I reread it twice, or at least once, and yeah, I love it so much. It's a great book, and yeah, quite excited and looking forward to the movie coming out in August. Not that long ago now, and yeah. Then we have some non-fiction. We have Wisdom of the Ancients, Life Lessons from Our Distant Past. And yeah, I've been reading more and more non-fiction these last few years. And there's this one store that I go to. I talked about it before, Outland. They have like all things like nerdy. They have role playing stuff. They have board game stuff. They have comic books, but they have fantasy books, science fiction books, and they also have quite a big selection of nonfiction. Among them, this one, and it kind of appeals to me. I like history and I like wisdom and learning stuff, and it's not like a huge book, so why not? Also, when you book prepping or like when you buy things to make yourself happy, at least for me, sometimes I just grab all the books. So it's not like all that I grab books that I kind of have to read, which like more like, you know what, I want to buy everything. So yeah. Then we have Hot Guys and Baby Animals because yeah, books like these I mean, it's great for when you want to be cheered up, when you want a quick read for like a readathon, a sort of 24-hour readathon or whatnot. And yeah, I mean, Hot Guys and the animals who can not enjoy this. That was lesbians. Lesbians could still enjoy their ethics. Well, they could still enjoy animals, but no, not in that way. But yeah. And then we have Tune In Tomorrow, which is a science fiction. Kind of like I think it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of like what's the word again? Yeah, it's kind of like a Truman Show story where one person is kind of living a life and the other people are watching her live her life. And yeah, I'm quite excited. Kind of looks like a interesting read. So yeah. And then we have yeah. So then we have actually my most recent both purchase. So this is actually a whole series. So I'm just gonna, and I bought them 2 different times, but it's a whole series, so I'm gonna show them you together. So we have, and yeah, sorry. So this is also a Norwegian series. I know, a bit mean, but hey, it's not impossible. It'll be translated sometime, and until then, you can just enjoy the covers because they're very lovely. So we have Benny Går Berserk, Benny Goes Berserk. We have Benny Går Igen. Benny, yeah, is ghosting, or he's a ghost, I suppose you could say. Like translating stuff on the fly. Yeah. And then we have Benny Går Amok, Benny Goes Crazy. And then the last one, Benny Går Planken. So Benny goes. What's the word again? Because it's a very famous thing. Like it's from pirate lore. Like when you walk, yeah, Benny walks the plank. So yeah, and yeah, as you can see, Benny, he's gay. So I suppose also, as you might have noticed, this is a series of middle grade books of like 9 to 12, 14. Like I suppose, well, I would say like the first 3, I would say you can read like to your 6-year-old really, because they're quite like universal, quite timeless. Well, the 4th one, sorry. So the 4th one, it's more about like your first boner and stuff like that. So in that way, maybe it's a bit more for like 10, 11-year-olds than your 7-year-old. But I suppose depends all on how you pair it, I suppose. And yeah, it's, as you might have guessed from the covers, it's a series that's very funny. I would say the first one would kind of describe very much as like Home Alone, but just, yeah, Home Alone-ish, but just set in Norway. It kind of has the same feelings. And then you have this one, which is more Halloween based. It's set around Halloween, and yeah, I mean, it kind of looks, I suppose, might look a bit scary itself. But scary is more funny. It's not really, none of these I would say is scary. They have action scenes in them, but I wouldn't really say. I mean, you don't have to read them. Don't have to be scared for reading them if you're scared pants. This one is more alien based, as you might have guessed for the cover. And in the last one, they go on holiday. They go, well, Benny and his family go on holiday, and he goes on holiday with his boyfriend, and stuff happens. But it's also, I would say this book is kind of very gay, both like the cover but also the story has a lot of gay characters in it and whatnot. It came out in May in a way, and not in June, which is was you have to just publish gay books in June, but yeah, that's kind of interesting, I would say. And yeah, these books are just very, very funny. And I suppose they're also just very, I would say also, I really very much enjoy the covers of these, at least very much, especially the last one. It's just so beautiful. Um, and also the series also has, yes, like, well, I'm talking about it like I know it. Yeah, I read it before from the library. I didn't own it, so like now I own it. So yeah. Sometimes I read books from the library, and then if I love the books, I'll buy them. And sometimes I just buy books from the first get-go. But yeah. So this series also, it's one of those with like chapter titles, and it also has pictures. And yeah, it's just lovely pictures, and yeah, it's just a great, great series. And yeah, I'm quite sad right now. It's just out of Norwegian. I don't really think it's out in Swedish or Danish or anything really. But I suppose if you're watching this and if you're Norwegian American and you want to learn Norwegian or you're trying to learn Norwegian, check out these books because, I mean, and none of them are like that long. They're all, even the last one is at 181 pages. I mean, yeah, the first and last one, the first is thinner than the last one, but none of them are long books. And yeah, they're quite easily read, fast paced, and yeah. I love this book series so much. So yeah, now I own them. And then we have, give me a moment, Svaber and Vaskekdetiv, which yes was also my guest, is another Norwegian book. It's written by Saeed Ali. He's a Norwegian comedian, and he kind of decided to write a book, which he has done. It's a crime comedy. It's been described as, and the detective is a cleaner instead of like retired police or like a law person. It's yeah, it's a cleaner. And yeah, I've heard very much good things about this one. And I think it might become a series. I don't know because a lot of crime books are series. I don't know at this point in time, but I suppose it might be. And yeah, quite excited to get to this one. Yeah. Lastly, I bought Amari in Norwegian. I'm gonna give it to a friend of mine. She has a niece who's 9. I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna share that Amari love, so I'm gonna buy it for her. So yeah. And then we have another non-fiction book. Ask a Historian: 50 Surprising Answers to Things You Always Wanted to Know by Greg Jenner. And yeah, so this is non-fiction about history things that you want to know. For example, why is Italy called Italy? How old is curry? How do we know how people sounded in the past? Who invented maths? And yeah, stuff like that. I love history, and I love this kind of non-fiction book. Kind of seems like a QI-ish, story or book. So yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to show this one to you first. So first we have actually an arc, Sølvstrupen, which is the second one in this trilogy series. I think it's trilogy. Yeah. Anyway, it's the second in this trilogy, which is in the same universe as the Odin's Child series. This one is a spin-off series, but it's set in the same world. And yeah, Sølvstrupen, the silver streep, silver something. Yeah, it's coming out. Well, I think the first one in this series is actually coming out next year, actually in English. But yeah, this one is Norwegian copy of the second book, which is coming out in the fall. And I got it early because up until recently, I worked in a bookstore. So yeah, I get ours from there. And yeah, excited to read this one. Though I didn't love the first book, but I want to read more. So yeah, found fun to read this one as well. Then we have The Theory of Everything Else: A Voyage into the World of the Weird, which by Dan Schreider. He's one of the people behind No Such Thing as a Fish, the QI podcast. And yeah, so he wrote this nonfiction book, and it's all about like kind of weird ideas, like can cats predict earthquakes? Are exorcisms responsible for the Beatles' success? Did time travel tourists think the Titanic? Kind of like weird things like this, where like Dan Schreiber, he interviews people who have these weird ideas, and he kind of yeah interviews them about their fears, and yeah, excited to get it. Even more nonfiction, yeah, lots of those. A Pointless History of the World from the host of hit BBC quiz show. So yeah, I love Pointless. Been watching it for more than 10 years now, and but yeah, this is kind of like a pointless book, but it's just like different pointless facts about different places and stuff. And yeah, and then we have Funny You Should Ask. Your questions answered by the QI elves. Another QI book. It's not long, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say maybe I'm getting more and more into nonfiction these last few years, but I think maybe my jam with nonfiction often is like thinner books, like Non-fiction long book is like, I don't know. A thinner book, yeah, cool. Then we have An Island Princess Starts a Scandal by Adriana Herrera. So this is one of my most anticipated reads of this year. So definitely think I'm gonna pick it up soon. And then we have The Night in Question. Sorry. By Kathleen Lawson and Liz Lawson. So it's the second book in the Agatha series. I don't quite know if this is like going to be a trilogy or what, but I very much love the first one, and I ordered this as soon as I can, like the second one. Now, yeah, the first one I have is in the different cover, so I don't have matching covers at this point. So yeah, uh, that's gonna be fun, but still very much looking forward to reading it. Then we have the Benevolent Society of Ill-Mannered Ladies, which is set in high society, where you have like a group of high society ladies who become detectives, and who doesn't like that kind of jam? It is an adult read, and it is set in 1812. So yeah, a long time ago, but I kind of like that time period. It's written by Alison Goodman, who also wrote the Dark Days trilogy, but also Iona and Ione, which I also love that trilogy. So yeah, excited for this one. The Ministry of Unladylike Activity by Robin Stevens. So this is a sequel. It's a spin-off, and I suppose also in a way sequel to a series of Murder Most Unladylike series. So the first series was more like murder mystery based. This is more spies during Second World War. Well, spies that are preteens, and yeah, love me some spy books, and I love this author. So yeah, very excited to get this one, and yeah, start. Yeah, so you can see another Winch book by Benjamin Borley Silset. So this is a non-fiction, as you might have guessed, book about pride. Norwegian stolt is Norwegian word for pride, and this is all about uh, facts about being gay, being trans, being lesbian, lesbian history, and stuff like that. It's uh, it's illustrated, and you have like introducing people and whatnot, and yeah. I mean, personally, I'm not gay or queer or anything. Well, I'm thinking I'm doing I'm doing a own video about that. But yeah, but I still very much like queer stories, and also like these kind of stories. It's not just for everyone; it's also for allies, not just for the people who are inside the brackets. And yeah, a couple of more here. We have Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Ford, a cozy mystery with T in the title. I love tea. I love cozy mysteries. Of course, I'm gonna buy this book. And then we have The Absolute Book by Elizabeth Knox. A book, a murder, a library with ancient secrets. I mean, do you need to know more? I don't really feel you kind of do, really. I mean, it just, yeah. I didn't really know anything about this book before I found it. But yeah, it's just, I mean, that tagline, a book, a murder, an ancient library with secrets. What's not to love? Nothing. Nothing. So yeah. And I also kind of love like finding the book at random in store, because like then I kind of have no expectations. I just kind of go into it without expecting anything really. Then we have, yeah, I suppose looking back at now, I quite have like all of these, well, a lot of these are not fiction. Interesting. But yeah, frequently asked questions about the universe by Jorge Chan and Dallin Whiteson. Another non-fiction. Will time ever stop? Could we ever teleport? Can I rearrange the particles in my cat and turn into a dog? Yeah, quite interesting fact. And they're uh, they're answered by a CERN physics professor, and it's also answered by a PhD comic cartoonist. So they have illustrations in there, and yeah. And then we have, give me a moment, A Curse of Salt by Sarah Street. And this kind of just, the cover just caught my eye. It's just so, I think some people really very much love people in covers. I like lots of different covers, but I also really like objects in covers. And you have the sea anchor, you have the rose, you have a dagger. I believe it's kind of like a fairy tale-ish story. Yeah, it's fairy tales and pirates, and this fairy tale is cursed, is what it says at the top. So yeah, my kind of jam. And then we have just a few more. Wait a bit. Yes. So I suppose I might do an own vlog about this one, but I don't know to do it. But yeah, I also recently went on vacation last week. Well, a bit over a week ago now. And yeah, I found some books on vacation as well. I found Monkey Around by J.D. Jang. San Francisco has a Monkey King and he's freaking out. So it's Asian mythology, but it's set in San Francisco, modern day. And yeah, I very much like this cover and I like this idea. So yeah. And then we have Egalias Døtre by Gerd Brattenberg. So this is a Norwegian classic feminist book. It's all set in a world where it's twisted. So instead of having the men, instead of having it be a patriarchy, it's a matriarchy, and the men is under is and the men are not the men don't have the rights. They stay at home, do the dishes, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, in this book, like they start like to try to start a, I suppose, masculine movement against the woman in the world. And yeah, it's a satirical classic. It's also actually translated to English and different languages, I believe. Right here, it's just like a satirical classic with world success. I don't know if it's a world success, but I suppose I've heard a bit about it. So I don't think it's not successful. Though I suppose, yeah, it came out in 19, I want to say 1970, 1987 for the first time. So yeah, a bit of a while ago, but not ancient time. And yeah, and then we have Red Wall by not Red Wall by Brian Jacks. This is the fourth book, Mariel of Redwall. So I heard kind of good things about it lately. Well, I heard about it a few years ago when they talked about doing a movie, and then it didn't happen. But then Lena Norms from Lena Norms, the booktube channel or YouTube channel, she's not just books now, took up this one in a recent video, and I thought, you know what, I want to get to it. So the thing is, I found this in a used bookstore, and yeah, so this is the fourth book. So in this series, I mean, I haven't read the first, second, or third book yet. I think I might get the first book at least first before I check out this book. But yeah, at least like book like 10 books or so or something. It's quite a long series, I believe. The middle grade series where like the main characters are mouse and they go on different adventures and stuff. And yeah, quite excited to get to this. I believe you could say it's classic or like I suppose cult classic-ish. It's I'm not quite sure if it's originally like English. Yeah, it's originally English. It's an English author, so yeah, it's English series. And yeah, Then we have Life, Death, and Whiskey by Ralphie. So this is a autobiography, and the person who wrote it, he began his life as a mort, mortuary person, mortuary assistant. He worked in a morgue, and then at the end he kind of decides to, well, after a while he decides to go and instead make whiskey. So yeah, this is a life with anecdotes from the morgue, from whiskey, and his life in general. And yeah, kind of looked interesting to me, so I got it. And yeah, and that, my dear friend, is my latest book haul. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you read any of these books, please tell me and say what you thought about them. If you have any fun books you read both recently yourself, talk to me about those. And yeah, see you soon. Bye. Yes, I know I said like this book was just gonna be the audio clip, but yeah, here I am having more books, and I decided to kind of include it in the same thing um because why not? So yeah, we have Murder of a School Night by Kate Weston, one of my most anticipated reads of this year. So yeah, definitely gonna pick it up soon. And then we have Over Emotional by David Fenn. This is a YA contemporary fantasy, I want to say. Yeah. So it follows a gay main character who, when it gets over emotional, magic happens. Like shenanigans happens, I suppose, in a way. Like one time he kisses a guy and he's so into the kiss that the guy's head explodes. So yeah, I saw this randomly online. I thought like, love this cover, love this title. So yeah, gonna have to buy it. Excited to have it. Then we have A Cup of Tea by Casey Blair. So this is a cozy fantasy story based. It's a high fantasy, but yeah, it's based all around tea, a tea shop, but also some drama and intrigue. And I've heard good things about this one. I love tea, so of course had to buy it. Then we have Cupid's Revenge by Vibeke Bruggemann. So this is the second book by Vibeke Bruggemann. She also wrote Love is for Losers, amazing sapphic story. This also a sapphic story. It includes, I mean, Cupid, so like there's some magic in the story. And yeah, I mean, I just love Vibeke Bruggemann's first book, so I had to buy this book automatically because I love the first book. And yeah. Then we have Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell. And yeah, so this is, yeah, also it's a hardcover, which I don't often buy. You know, I thought I want to buy this book because I've heard so good things about it. It's lovely cover. It's a cozy fantasy story, and yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, okay, so there's not any fancy things on the hardcover, but still. And yeah, it's just there's like flower magic in it and stuff. And yeah, very excited to get to this one. And that's, my dear friends. No, give me a moment. I also went to used bookstore yesterday, so I'm gonna show you those books. So a lot of these books. So some of these books actually are books that I already read, but some of these are not. So the first one is Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson. So Jenny Lawson, she's written other books as well, and yeah, it's been described as like a very funny book. And I love me some funny nonfiction, so all here for it. And then we have The Book of General Ignorance forward by Stephen Fry, and Forewords by Alan Davis. So yeah, if you like QI, this is kind of like a QI in book form. I love QI, so I've been buying more and more QI books, like basically like literally QI books, like books written by the QILs. And yeah, this one came out in 2006, so I suppose it's a bit outdated. Though again, it's about facts, and a lot of those, like a lot of those, are kind of quite stable, quite yeah. They facts don't really change. Or some ways they do, but yeah. So yeah, interested to see what things were how things were in 2006 and what people didn't know then. And then we have books that are cheap. I have owned them before, but I have no idea where they went to. If I for some reason gave them to charity, or if they're, I don't know. I mean, I suppose at least for me, I mean, I've moved quite a lot of times in my life, and have owned quite a lot of books in my life. And sometimes there's kind of a few books that I just kind of for some reason don't find, and I don't remember giving them away, but for some reason I must have, or maybe someone close to me thought I didn't like them and gave them away. I don't know, but some books just kind of like disappear in a way. So yeah, I got these as a replacement. It is two in the same trilogy. And yeah, so we have Finicking of the Rock by Marlena Macheta. And then we have Froy of the Exiles by the same author. So this, I mean, Marlena Macheta, she's mostly known as an Australian contemporary writer, but she also has this high fantasy trilogy. So it's this, and then the second book. What is the second book called? Maybe this is the second book. Because there's a trilogy. Yeah, that's book 2. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I have the first and second book now. And yeah, I read them, I want to say actually 8 years ago. So it was not a lifetime ago, but quite a time ago. And I mean, what kind of wanted to reread them. And I suppose also like, if I need to show like a underrated book series, I could show this one on book tags, because I don't really feel like it's that well known or that much talked about. So yeah. So that's that really. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it though for this book haul. I think I might buy some new books today, but you know what? I'm just gonna include them in another book haul, because after a while you kind of have to set a line really. And yeah, yeah. I did say at the beginning of this book haul that yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do an own video with that. No, don't worry. Yeah. If you, as usual, as you've read any of these books, if you had any fun books you read recently or bought recently, please talk to me in the comments. And I'll see you soon. Bye.